Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Oh, glad to have you all along on another ride along with the mighty Gator Unleashed. Told you I was going to do a video on my Savage 30-06. I'm going to touch on that. Today is January the 8th, a Sunday. We're getting towards the end of the weekend, which is always a sad thing. But really it's not. We're all blessed. A little deer hunting rifle, Savage 30-06. I was going to kind of take a look at it. I wanted you guys to take a look at the 30-06 cartridge. This is around, I guess it's still popular. It used to be extremely popular. I think it seems like here recently, I don't really know. It just seems like there's so many other things everybody's using. And they're all very similar. You got this 350 Legend I keep seeing. And I don't even know what it is. I've never shot a 350 Legend round. You've got the 6.5 Creedmoor. I've never shot, never heard of none of this until recently. I'm an old school guy. It's pretty obvious, I think. This 30-06 cartridge is, in my opinion, this is the sweet spot for deer hunting. You're just not going to beat it. It's got the knockdown, it's got the velocity, close range, long range. It's just the sweet spot. It's perfect. 200 yards, no problem at all whatsoever to kill a deer with this cartridge right here with this round. In close, it's just so much better than like a 270. That extra size of that bullet is just so much more lethal in close range. And there may be some slightly flatter shooting rounds out there. They're not much flatter. I mean, this 30-06 cartridge is great, guys. It's just great. Totally recommend 30-06 if you're a deer hunter. Having said that, I believe that if you've got about any rifle cartridge in your hand, any rifle in your hand, regardless of the caliber, if you can use that rifle, if you're savvy and can hit the deer, especially if you hit it in the right spot, you can kill a deer. You can kill a deer with an SKS rifle, 30-30, 270, 243. You can kill a deer with all that. I believe there's more forgiveness with this round right here, though, than any of the others. I believe this one offers more forgiveness. I mean, of course, you could go up to like a 300 Magnum or something. You know, just go overkill, and that nullifies that. This right here, you ain't gonna beat for deer hunting. That's my opinion. That's the opinion of the mighty Gator Unleashed. But the Savage 30-06, I've got it laying here on the table, and I actually cleaned it today. I got this gun in the, I don't know, early 90s. I couldn't tell you what year. Had it forever. I got into deer hunting. Didn't actually have a deer hunting rifle. I went with an SKS for a couple of years. That's not preferred. Yeah, as I just said, I could have killed one with an SKS if everything would have fallen into place just right. I'd much rather have this in my hands. First of all, you need a scope if you're going to get out and deer hunt. You know, if you're hunting in a wooded place somewhere, to where you're not going to be shooting out there any at all, and you know, if you've got good binoculars or whatever where you can actually see and look at what you're shooting at before you actually raise your gun and start getting ready to take a shot. You know, there's a lot of things that affect the sport of deer hunting. But in the woods, you can get by with a 30-30 no scope or a 30 or SKS, which is a 30 caliber round, or very close. But the old 30-06 is the way to go, in my opinion. As I've said, this is the Savage. Get this here where you guys can look at it. I've had this in the gun cabinet. I got it out today and cleaned it. Because as I touched on, I found that 30-06 ammo this morning. And I kind of want to continue on with that too. I mentioned the previous video I done was talking about an update on Walmart ammo. it's still worth, if you can find rifle ammo at Walmart, it's still worth shopping there and getting it. It's not worth getting shotgun shells at Walmart anymore. They don't sell pistol ammo anymore. So all you've got left that you're going to get a good deal on is if you can find your rifle cartridges at Walmart. You're going to save some money. I give $24.96 for the ammo I bought this morning at Walmart. $24.96 per box. I got 2 boxes, the only 2 boxes they had. I bought a box several months ago at the local gun shop, and it was like $38. So $14 cheaper. So I wanted to touch on that. But this is the Savage 30-06. This is a model GP110. This is the one that's got the Indian on the boat. It's got the Indian chief head on the boat. I always sort of like that. This thing is in excellent shape, and I've had it in the woods a lot. Just goes to show you, if you take care of your stuff, it'll take care of you. This rifle came with this 3x9 Simmons scope on it when I got it. I keep this for this. I don't keep it on it in the gun cabinet because these will cause the stocks to mess up. Something about that draws moisture or something. But that is the reason I bought this. Yeah, I'm not going to stick it in there. It doesn't matter. This rifle, a lot of people, when I bought this, they said that these Savages was cheap and they wasn't good and this, that, and the other. It was the only thing my budget would allow me to get at the time. When I was a young guy, back when I bought this, I had a job where I worked 57 hours a week. I was scheduled. I worked every night as a plumber's helper, all that he would possibly let me work, a lot of times till 10 o'clock at night. And my budget didn't allow me to go buy a Ruger or a Remington. Remington was really big back then. It's funny how stuff changes. Never would have thought Remington would go out. And I think Remington's back now, but it's nothing, a shadow of its former self. But anyway, this rifle, if you can find one of these, it's never given me a problem. Every single year, I'll take this and go, before deer season, I'll go and I don't put a lot through it, I guess 10 rounds at the range, just to make sure the scope is okay. Sometimes I won't put that many. This scope has been great. It's plenty adequate. Are there better scopes out there? Yes, millions of times better scopes. But you got to work with what you got. I killed that deer right over there. I killed that deer with this rifle the first year I got it. Quite the adventure too. Where am I at? 8 minutes and 24 seconds. Don't want to get carried away with deer hunting stories. Of course, that might make for good YouTube content. But that deer right there, I was raised in Perry County, Kentucky, and there was no deer hunting. Deer hunting was never legal over there. There was no deer. I never saw a deer. In Perry County until I was 20 years old. They just wasn't there. Or if they was, they stayed hid well. All the coal mining that they done in Hazard, and they went and took these mountains. They take those mountains and move them and get the coal, and then they put the mountain back, and then they reclaim all that. And so this growth, this vegetation, and the deer and turkeys and things loves that. It really brought the wildlife into this area like crazy. Now there's black bears around here, and I no longer live in Perry County. I live a couple of counties away. They brought elk. They introduced elk into Perry County back in, I guess that would have been the 90s, probably. I don't really know exactly when that was. Somewhere around the early 90s. And they have flourished. I think they killed the record bull elk in Perry County now, or over there somewhere. But anyway, I grew up riding 4-wheelers, racing dirt bikes, and just everything in the world always. And stayed in the woods Well, we started seeing deer along around, I guess, 1995 somewhere. We got to where we would start seeing some deer out. I remember it was exciting the first few times. Then it got to where you would just see deer all the time. But there still was no season. So I guess it was 1999. It might have been 1998. That was the first year they had a deer season in Perry County. It was 1998 because we already had a deal set up to where we was going to hunt in Wolfe County. I went to Wolfe County that year, never killed a deer, but I knew I could kill a deer in Perry County because I just knew where they was. I just had too much advantage on them. But anyway, I didn't get a hunt in Perry County. I never killed a deer in 1998. 1999, I killed the deer I just showed you on the wall with this rifle. Um, I'd seen him once before, and I actually got a shot at him with a bow, but that whole hunt got messed up. Somebody come by on a four-wheeler. I was moving because in my mind I felt like that had spooked the deer up in the area, but evidently it didn't because I got down out of a tree stand and was walking back to my four-wheeler and ran into the deer that I wound up killing. I'm almost certain that was it. Of course, I can't be positive of that, but I'm pretty sure that was the same deer. But anyway, first morning of rifle season in 1999, I set up on that deer up on a hill above a field. Sat there. Hadn't been there a real long time. There was forest fires that year, and it was kind of smoky. It was kind of bad time to be hunting in a sense, sort of. But I started noticing there was does coming through the field below me, and you barely could see them because you don't realize how tall the vegetation is, the briars and the weeds and things. But I could see the does going through there, and I don't remember. I think there was 5 or 6 does. Then I saw that buck, and I shot him, split his heart in two with this rifle right here, and he still went about, I don't know, he went 50 yards probably. I shot that deer and split his heart in two, and he went a pretty good distance. It's astonishing what they can do, but he couldn't stand it. Couldn't stand that 30-06. It was just too much. The old 30-06 was just too much. But yeah, that was my first deer kill. It was a very exciting day. He's been with the family ever since. We made him immortal. My wife's nicknamed him, puts bows on his antlers every Christmas and all this stuff. Oh. But to the rifle, yeah, Savage, even back then, great rifle. Great rifle. The trigger, it's not the best trigger. But what's funny about that is when I first got it, everybody was telling me how rough these triggers was. And when I first shot it, I thought, oh my God, this thing, it's got a very heavy trigger pull. But it really doesn't seem to matter when you see a deer. Everything just changes, you know. But now I've noticed it's just got better as time has went on. That trigger's just got better. And now it's much better than it was. But now it's nothing like these new bolt action rifles with the AccuTrigger, and I've shot a late Ruger 270. They do have much better triggers. But if you find one of these, it all goes back to your budget. It all goes down to budget, what's available, how bad you want it. You know, if you want to go deer hunting and you find one of these for a good deal, get it. If you do your homework, there's no reason why you can't kill a deer with this. I mean, any modern high-powered rifle in your hand on deer season, during deer season, if you see a deer that you can raise that rifle, that modern firearm, and get it in your sights, and there's no reason you shouldn't kill that deer. It's not hard to kill a deer. It's not hard to kill a deer. Some people are better hunters than others, but I mean, in my opinion, there's just a whole lot of circumstance and luck involved. I mean, you can do so much, you know. I mean, I deer scouted like crazy for years. I mean, absolutely was obsessed with it. You know, in the early fall, you've got deers where the acorns and things are falling in the woods. Also, in the early fall, the bucks are in their little groups and the does are just doing their thing. Later in the year, it's really all about the does, you know. The acorns are gone and they're back on grass and clover and things of that nature. But where you see bucks in the end of September, you won't see them in November the 8th or whatever day rifle season starts. You won't see them there then. They're going to be wherever the does is, and they're all spread out too. I mean the bucks start fighting when the rut actually before the rut comes in. They split up and become bachelors. It's really interesting. I still love it. It's weird how your life is. You think when you get older you're going to have more time to do the stuff that you love to do, but in reality, at this point, I'm 52, and my life just keeps getting busier. I keep having less time. And I'm wanting it to go the other way, but I can't make it happen. I don't have the answers, unless I just wanted to lay down and sacrifice the things I want in life. And I like being ambitious. I think ambition's a good thing. I also think there's a fine line between ambition and greed. So a lot of things to life, a lot of life lessons. And as I just said, I don't have the answers yet. But I wanted to get my wife a new car. She deserves it, and we got her a really nice new Equinox, and she is just tickled to death. She will not let me have. Actually, she has here just recently, but she withheld the extra key fob as long as she could before I could get it. I did get to drive it out this morning because it needed gas, so I went out and gassed it up for her. Got some things at the Walmart when I went and got the shells I was telling you guys about. But I've got to pay for that. We only financed it for 5 years. Good shape on it already. But still, you can't have it both ways. You can't have money in the bank and have nice things if you're not willing to sacrifice time and go and work and make it. It's just that simple. So it's up to you, and everybody's got to do their own thing. Bottom line, you got to be happy. And I'm happy working. I like it. I'm proud to work. I don't like what they spend our tax dollars on right now. Very much disappointed and just sickening. I can't do anything about that though. But regardless, I'm going to work, and I'm going to prosper all I can. Anyway, I don't know what else I can say about this, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this a little bit. Just a lot of me yakking, I guess. Just a super nice, despite having been in the woods so much, just a really nice finish on this little bolt action rifle. And it's just smooth as silk. I mean, it's just the smoothest action. Just not going to beat it. I'm fooling with these things all the time. My dad's gun shop and stuff, he's always getting guns in. And I actually got my eye on a lever action 357, speaking of that. But if I get it, I'll bring it to the channel. None of those new rifles, none of the new ones have a better working bolt action than this. I mean, it's just smooth as silk. And I'm sure you could do some trigger work on this if you really wanted that higher trigger, but a less than perfect trigger is not going to stop you from killing a deer. If you get lucky enough to cross paths with a deer in rifle season and you've got one of these in your hands, you're going to kill that deer. Unless you just see it on a dead run or something. I mean, when I say if you cross paths with one, if you set up on a deer and it comes to you, if you've done everything perfect and get lucky enough for it to be where you thought it was going to be. I've done that once or twice in my life. So many things can change it, especially when you fill the woods full of a bunch of hunters. But yeah, you'll kill a deer. I mean, if you any kind of shot at all, you'll kill that deer. You're just going to do it, But anyway, I'm at 20 minutes already. Man, it's amazing. Guys, I hope you enjoyed. I hope everybody has a great week. Again, we need to pray for our country. We need to pray for our country. We need to pray that the evil in our country is exposed and defeated. That will bring about unity for the most part. You're never going to have 100% unity. Never. You're never going to have a president that works for all the people. There's always going to be winners and losers. No law, no legislation, there's nothing. There's never been anything passed that works for everybody. But we've got to come to some kind of agreement on some things, much better than we are right now. And I pray that happens. But guys, Savage Model GP110 from the 90s. Just an outstanding bolt action deer rifle. This holds 5 rounds, by the way. I want to touch on that too. A lot of these newer rifles have a detachable mag, even these bolt action deer rifles and things. I like this better. I don't need a detachable mag on a deer rifle. Worst thing can happen is if you get out and after you're through with your deer season, you know, it's probably wise to unload the gun and you have to work them through to unload them. Versus if you had a clip, you could just drop the, if you had a magazine, you could just drop the magazine and empty your cartridges that way. But this is fine, works just fine. And I do like this just all closed up. I think it's prettier. It's just, I like this. But now that's just me. There's nothing wrong with the other type. I like the other type too. I like this better. But guys, that's all I got. You guys enjoy your day. Peace out, and we'll catch you on the next video.